Hi, it's Miss McCloskey. So, we're trying a new thing. I'm going to be reading stuff to you and giving you challenges along the way for this semester. And this semester, one of the things that we're doing is the book All Quiet on the Western Front. I know, it's a little bit backwards. Anyway, it was written by Eric Maria Remarque. And as we go along, I'll give you some challenges that you should do in the packet that you get in class. This is to be done in class, but chances are I'm going to try and upload this to YouTube. In the meantime, as we go along, we'll do one thing at a time so that you can see what it is, and section by section, I'll post these things and you can see them in class. You're supposed to be looking at them in class when it's time for you to do that on your device or on the smartboard, etc. Anyway, so this is a World War I book, and it's an important book because it's told from the perspective of a young soldier in the German army of World War I. And at the time, the World War I wasn't called World War I because it was the first one. It was called the Great War. And so we see a very personal, fictional depiction of what goes on from one person's perspective. Okay, so when we open the book, the very first thing that we come to, and by the way, I might look away from you from time to time because I'm reading either from the script that I've written, which is kind of a bulleted thing. That's what this is. Or the book itself. All right, so when we open the book, right before chapter 1, this is my book. You'll see that it's got notes all inside of it. I'm hoping you can buy your own book cheap on Amazon. For like $2 or something like that, or get it online, and you can read along with me, or you can read along in class. Right before the first chapter, there's a paragraph, just like that, right before chapter 1. And it's there. And if you'll turn to that page with me, I'll read it to you, and then we'll discuss our first challenge. It says, "This book is to be neither an accusation nor a confession, and least of all, an adventure. For death is not an adventure to those who stand face to face with it. It will try simply to tell of a generation of men who, even though they may have escaped shells, were destroyed by the war." Okay, here's your first challenge, and you'll see it on the sheet. The challenge is that this type of introduction, and this is really an introduction, it's called a Precis, Precis. Notice the PRE in the beginning? That's called a prefix. Notice pre is also in that. That means it comes before the book. And in this case, the author is trying to tell us something, right, even before. He's even giving you part of his message even before he starts. So your job, as he talks directly to the reader, is A, how do you describe what this paragraph means? B, what do you think it will predict about what happens in the book? And C, choose 2 words that are in this précis that link directly to your prediction of the book and explain why you think those 2 things happen. Okay? So that's challenge number 1. And then as soon as you finish that, we'll move on to the beginning of chapter 1 and the challenges involved there. See you soon.